is not for us all to leave here going, oh my goodness, I'm a terrible person, what on earth am I going to do? But actually, my intention is to challenge us this morning. Recently, a study called Talking Jesus has come out that was conducted by the Evangelical Alliance that found that 29% of non-Christians see the church as hypocritical. And I think that is a shocking number. 29% think the church is hypocritical. And I think a large portion of that comes from this idea of not judging others. I've had friends tell me that they won't go to church for fear of being judged by the people there. Something doesn't add up there. While this is quite a heavy topic, I'm actually quite excited to talk to you about this today because I'm going to begin with a confession of my own heart of something that I'm really not proud of. And that is, as a young person, I was incredibly judgmental of people. I was the only Christian in my year at school, and so I was automatically different than everyone else. And I found that sometimes really enjoyable. I quite like having a label of being different. But at the same time, I found that really difficult. Actually, I just didn't fit in with things. Like, I went to church on a Sunday, they had a line on a Sunday. I was told not to judge people. They spent every lunch and every break judging people that were walking past. And so what I thought would help is if I could judge people as well, join in with them, then I would fit in. But actually, as Christians, we are not called to fit in, we are called to be different. When the world is telling us to judge people, we are told to love them, to be gracious to them. We are not called to fit in, we are called to show Jesus 24/7, even when it's different to the crowd. I think this message in this passage is one of the most well-known outside of the church. We teach our children, treat others how you want to be treated. It's often used by teachers in school. I will treat you with respect if you treat me with respect. Treat others how you want to be treated. And God is saying, or Jesus is saying in this passage, if you judge others, God too will judge you in that same manner. That same measure of judgment you use, God too will use on you. I think we can be really quick to judge people before we know the whole story. A woman in my dad's church back home made national news for taking her kids to school in her pyjamas. She put a post on Facebook of her in her pyjamas walking her kids to school, and that made national news. There was a group of men on Facebook who created a page purely to shame her for taking her kids to school in her pyjamas. Because what they saw was a lazy mum, was a dirty mum, was a mum who couldn't cope. But actually the whole story is that she'd been up all night with her 1-year-old, who was unwell, screaming and crying and just not sleeping. And she was trying to keep her other kids asleep so that they can go to school the next day and have the best education. And she was trying to comfort her 1-year-old son all day, all night, and she didn't have a minute for herself. In the end, the 1-year-old went to sleep, and so she got about an hour of sleep before she woke up late and rolled out of bed and didn't have time to get dressed. She knew her priority was to get her kids to school on time. But the world saw a mother who was lazy, who didn't look after herself, who didn't care about her children. But actually she was putting her children before herself. The world judged before they knew the whole story. She's often described as the different one. In fact, when she met another group of Christians, they went, "Oh, you're the different one." And she's got tattoos and she talks a bit differently than the rest of the people who go to church. The normal people who go to church. She talks in slang, she swears, She has tattoos, she has piercings, she dyes her hair bright colours. She's the different one. She's very judged, but she doesn't let that stop her. She often preaches at my dad's church, and leads church services out on the field, and she is so loved by so many people in her community, because actually she's got the most wonderful, caring personality ever. And when people take the time to get to know her, they find that she is wonderful, that she loves God, and that she's trying her best. We're often quick to judge before we know the whole story. Only God knows the full story of our lives. So why should we judge? Why shouldn't we be gracious to people? I wonder whether the plank in our eye in this story is the reason that we see the speck in someone else's eye. Actually, this plank is distorting our vision. Perhaps there isn't a speck in their eye at all, but because our vision is distorted, that's all we can see. I found myself at times when I'm feeling insecure judging other people, comparing myself to other people. And when we compare ourselves to people, we judge them, not necessarily consciously, but I find that when I'm judging someone, when I'm comparing myself to someone, I'm unconsciously building up a dislike towards them before I've even spoken to them. I decide that actually, if I don't talk to you, I'm not going to fall out with you, so that's fine. If I don't talk to you, I'm not going to be intimidated by you, so that's fine. But actually, whatever my judgments are, whatever my assumptions about that person are, might not be true. I might think they're really mean because I see them having an argument with someone. I don't know the whole story. Actually, they may just be having a really bad day. Or this might have been something that's been going on for a very long time. I don't know the whole story, but I'm disregarding friendship with that person, or I'm disregarding that person just so that I don't get hurt. But actually, when we do that, I think we forget that they are created by God, and we forget to regard them as a child of God. When we judge someone, we take out God, we take out the Creator, we take out the human, and we just see an object. Each of us were created uniquely and specifically by God. I grew up in Swindon, which is halfway between Bristol and Reading. You will probably drive past it or through it if you haven't gone there before. Not many people stop in Swindon. And actually, I googled it this morning and I found that Swindon is rated the 8th worst place to live in the UK. Which I think is quite an impressive ranking, actually. 8th worst place to live. And when someone moves to Swindon, they are often told, don't live in one of the 4 Ps. That is Pinehurst, Penhill, Park North, or Park South. There's 4 sort of areas, a bit like Sherwood, 4 areas in Swindon that they say you shouldn't live in because they are the worst. I live in Pinehurst, which I think is probably the second P that people think of when they say not to live in that part of Swindon. And a lot of my friends from school came from Penhill, which would be the first. And one of the reasons that people say not to live in these places is because there's a lot of gang culture, there is a lot of drug use, there's a lot of alcohol use, there is a lot of violence, there's a lot of poverty. And there is real gang rivalry the point where some people can feel unsafe walking around the streets. One of my other favourite facts about Swindon is that overall it was voted teen pregnancy capital of Europe in 2016. So we often joke that I should type down to get to 20 and not pregnant. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons why people say not to live in Pinehurst or Pinhill or Park North or Park South or the Four Keys. And you might hear those facts and go, oh, I don't want to go to Swindon, I don't want to live in Swindon. But actually, Swindon's lovely. There is a lot of poverty, there is a lot of gangs, there is a lot of drug use and alcohol use. But I'm proud of where I come from. I didn't have the easiest childhood, I didn't have the most plain-sailing childhood. A lot of my friends came from broken homes. I tried to support them through that. A lot of people at school have seen things that no child should have seen. But actually, crime rates in Swindon are down by a huge percentage since 2016. When my mum takes our dog for a walk at night, she'll often go on her own and she'll sometimes come across some lads from these gangs. And usually the room leader would come over and go, oh my goodness, your dog is so cute, please come and stroke your dog. And they just melt into this mushy pile of like, oh my goodness, I love dogs. It's actually a really safe place to live. It can be scary, but it's lovely. There's such a sense of community as well. I live on a place called The Circle. There's a big field in the middle and then houses all the way around the outside. And so you kind of know what's going on with everyone. And there's just such a sense of community amongst the neighbours. You'll often see neighbours talking over fences, helping each other out. We just went last week. My dad asked a few people up the road if they could come put our chickens away, because we don't have chickens, and sort out the guinea pigs and things like that. There is just such a sense of community. But when you hear those initial facts about Swindon, or anywhere with that same sort of reputation, you think, oh, people from there aren't very nice, or they're not going to amount to very much. But actually, I think people are all right. I think we can do quite well. There is an initial judgment that comes with hearing where someone comes from. But if we begin to judge people based on their looks, or where they live, or purely on their actions and don't get to know them, we are forgetting that they are humans, that they were created by God, and that they have their own stories to tell. Only God can be the ultimate just judge of people, since he's the one that made us in the first place. And that's not to say that we can't call out the flaws of people at all. The passage says we must first remove the plank from our own eye before we offer to remove the speck from our brother. And while I wonder whether the plank from our own eye is distorting our vision, I think this is a call to reflect on ourselves and think, where are our insecurities? Where am I projecting my own insecurities onto another person? Where are my insecurities coming out as judgment towards them? And then once we've removed that, once we've dealt with that insecurity, we can begin to help someone else. Not judge them, not stand there and tell them that they're awful, but to say, hey, I've noticed this that doesn't quite seem very nice. Would you let me help you improve that? We must first remove the plank from our own eye before we can offer to help to remove the speck from the other. So I just want to close with a question. What is the plank in your eye? And then where are you forgetting?